Hey guys, Quad Fitness here. This is mat progression number 6. I'm going to go through some of the rolling techniques. I'm going to start out in a long sit. We're going to go down to supine and then do some rolling. So for anybody starting out, anybody in therapy, anybody might need a little help starting to roll. Some of the start out techniques are crossing your foot over one of the other, depending on which direction you're going. The top leg you want in the direction that you're going. So if you're going to the left, you want your right leg over your top of your left leg. If you're going to know you're going to roll to the right, it's just the opposite. You have your left leg over top of your right. That's just going to help your leg come through. One of the other techniques some of the therapists will do is we'll kind of, once the patient's laying down, they'll prop the leg up, kind of keep the knee pointed in the direction. This is going to help the weight of the leg come over top, since you already have it kind of already going that way. So, but we're just going to start with the legs flat out. But you know, if you do need that extra help, don't be afraid to cross your leg before you go down. The only thing with that is, you know, once you do go down, you know, if the leg does uncross or something like that, you got to come back up and fix it. Or, you know, if you wake up and you're already laying down, you know, your legs aren't going to really be crossed for you unless you have somebody there to help you, an aid or something like that, before you start your roll. So it's definitely good to kind of build up, work up to just having your both legs flat on the mat. But starting out, just to get the technique, get yourself over, you know, any of those start out techniques are great. So, but I'm just going to go straight back from here and get myself into supine. Same technique again. Come around this way, just kind of roll it right out into supine. I found that to be the easiest way down. I can show you a little bit more advanced technique. Once I go back up, I'll come back down again and we'll go through a little bit more advanced, kind of go through a little bit quicker for the last one. So from here, the trick for rolling is to really get that punch over top. You know, some of the therapists will have you kind of start winding up first. They'll kind of do 1, 2, and then go on the third. Kind of throw yourself over, throwing your weight. You kind of see what I'm doing. When I go, I really go hard. Really throw yourself over. That's what's going to bring that hip over. That's what's going to drive that other leg over. If you're just kind of going half and you're not really throwing hard, that's not going to be enough to get this hip up and that foot to come through. So you want to keep that momentum going in this direction. That's what's going to pull that hip over top. See that? Throwing that hip over. And at the same time, the leg's going to come through. Do it a couple times so you can see the technique. You know, some people they'll start out clasping their hands. There's a lot of different ways to start, because that just gets the shoulders going over top. But it's really that drive over top that does it, that extra little punch at the end. And even if you feel like you're not quite there, just keep reaching. Keep reaching. You know, don't stop. If you stop halfway and you give up right here, you're never going to get over. The trick is to keep reaching. Throw that head out and keep reaching for the edge, or as far out as you can. I think obviously having a little bit longer appendage, your arms and stuff like that, kind of helps. But anybody can get it. You know, sometimes it helps once you get a little bit stronger, a little bit weaker. It's a little bit tough, but just keep working on that punch, coming over top, and getting there. And then from this position, I like to tell my C5-6 quads kind of come up in this position here, because then you have both arms to work with. And this almost takes a little bit of the body weight off of your elbows. In this position here, trying to get up on this elbow as a C5-6, it's going to be pretty tough. You're not going to have triceps and a little bit weaker down in the lats, especially when you're starting out. So trying to come up, pull yourself up from this position, it's going to be tricky. Instead of trying to get to this position here, then you can work that weight shift back and forth. Those C5-6s, even us starting out as a C6-7 quad, whatever you are, cervical level. Anytime you're starting out, you're probably going to be a little bit weaker, so this technique's probably a good one to start with. So now you got weight on both elbows. Instead of in this position, trying to pull up just on that one, it's going to be real tough. So I know it was for me. So, but in this position here, I like to show them kind of the C, kind of walking your weight around. And then from here, I like to grab, now you got your biceps involved too, so, and then you can use that momentum kind of rock, and then throwing that weight up again. And then coming up. Things happen. But for me, I'm going to go back down, do a little bit more advanced maneuver, I guess if you want to call it advanced. But so for me going down, sometimes I'll just kind of, like I said, I'll grab the back of my legs here, and I'm just going to lower myself right back, just kind of using your biceps, and just kind of letting yourself come down nice and easy. You don't want to try that if you're just going to fall back. Just make sure you got your hands underneath. And when I go underneath, you got to cock your wrist the other way. You know, sometimes you might be able to hold on this way, but for me, I always feel stronger turning that wrist over, holding it like that, because you're gonna be able to use that tenodesis. You know, here you're not gonna be able to have as much, be able to hook it quite as well. So definitely turn those hands over, slide those hands in underneath those thighs, kind of right up by your butt, your glutes. That way your hands aren't going to come out. Your hands are up here. You're not going to be able to go. Let yourself all the way back to this position. So you want to give yourself enough arm length. That's why I get it right up in here. You kind of have a little bit more weight on there. It's going to kind of hold your hands in position, and then just slide back, and then just let yourself go down. And then you kind of saw my technique coming up, a little bit more advanced technique coming back up. You can do the double hook, and then pull up with the double hook. I'm just going to take this shoe off. Or just kind of throwing that arm, hooking with your left arm, whichever arm, if you have a stronger arm, and then just using this arm as kind of just to get that momentum going. It's a little easier when you got shoes on to do this. And then just coming up like that. Those are a little bit more advanced techniques. And then coming down, I'll go through a full speed. Go through a full speed roll, and then up, propped up on one elbow, kind of intermediate, I guess. Kind of get up. So that's your kind of your intermediate get up, kind of full speed. Go through that again. You can watch when you go. Remember, you're really throwing hard, and you're almost kind of continuing that momentum right up onto that elbow. So you don't want to stop. You want to keep that momentum going, because that's going to kind of bring you right up on that elbow. You'll see when I do it, you keep that momentum going, coming right over top. Now you're already up on that elbow, instead of kind of stopping in this position here and then trying to come up on that elbow. It's going to be tougher. You keep that momentum going over top, and then you almost roll right up into that position. And then from here, this is all triceps, but if you need a little assistance, reach back. I always reach back, get a little extra with your bicep, kind of assist. And then same thing, you're always throwing that head, a little bit extra help there. Throw the head, and you're up. So that's kind of intermediate to advanced rolling, to sit back up to long sit, and then from this position here, just basically scooting back over the edge of the mat, getting those legs off that mat, and then back to that chair. So that's going to be in another video. So I'm going to give myself a chance to catch my breath and have some water. So I hope you guys enjoyed that one. I know there was a lot there, so hopefully one of those techniques can help some of you guys out there, and then kind of work up to one of those more advanced moves. So like I always say, leave your comments or feedback. If you have any questions or you want me to break something else down for you, I never have a problem doing that. So, but for now, I'll catch you guys later. Quad Fitness out.